guys, it is April 8th, Monday, 2024. We have had a busy week getting ready for the flea market that we did this last weekend, which was a great success. We'll definitely be doing it again. I'm hoping to make a separate video about the flea market and kind of show what we had for sale, what sold, what didn't. Definitely know how to fine tune for next year. This was a very big event that was extremely busy on Friday night, and then slow start on Saturday, but then around 9 o'clock it got crazy and I had up to like 15 people in my 10 by 20 booth shopping at once. Super fun. Definitely want to do that again. Hoping to do a separate video on that. But we are going to go over what sold on eBay this week with all the craziness, so let's get started. The first item that sold on eBay last week was these two record and book sets. They are Disney, Cinderella, and Winnie the Pooh. I also have a few more of these that I meant to add to this and make a larger lot, and then this sold. So I will go ahead and list the other ones. These I picked up in the Goodwill bins for $1.67 a pound, and they sold for $9.99. Sold these Ralph Lauren ties. There were 4 of them. The chaps, one of them was a little different, as you can see in the picture there, in terms of the logo and the tag on the ties. But these I had picked up. I pick up ties at either the Goodwill bins at the $1.67 a pound, so ties are basically like nothing. Or I did get a ton of ties for 5 for $1 at my local thrift store. So this may have been a combination of both. Either way, they all 4 sold for $9.99 with free shipping. These cool socks I picked up at a local organization sale. I got these for $1. They were brand new in the bag, size large for University of Connecticut, and they turned around and sold for $14.99. This was a nice sale. This is a lot of Sweet Valley twin paperback books. I read these when I was a kid, so I know they're considered quote-unquote vintage because they're over 20 years old. But I do find these Goodwill bins, 3 for $1, or my local thrift store does a Media Monday, and books, DVDs, CDs, magazines, things like that are 5 for $1. So I tend to pick up books at both those locations, sometimes at garage sales, which is the season we are entering into soon. Either way, didn't pay a whole lot for these, and I sold them for $74.99. This was an excellent buy, excellent sell. I know a lot of people need replacement parts and pieces for their games. I do see these category refill pads in the bins all the time. I know they were over a pound though, so I probably paid about $2 for these, and I had them drop down to $9.99 and they sold. I mean, I maybe made $1 or $2, but I don't think I'm going to pick these up again. I don't think they are enough of a money maker profit-wise, even though I do see them all the times in the bin. But yeah, I don't know if I would pick these up again. Maybe broke even, maybe made $1 or $2. Either way, not going to list again. This Care Bear was a relatively quick sell. I didn't have it for very long, and it sold. I think I had it for like a day or two. I got this in the Goodwill bins. It did have some stains, and I was going to sit down and kind of, hand clean it a little. And then I was like, they're actually selling even with stains. Let me just list it and just note the stains. So I did, and it still sold for $12.49. I probably paid $1 for this. So, I mean, to turn it around in like a day or two was kind of nice. But I always pick up these Care Bears when I see them. This is a story reader case with books and cartridges. It did not have the system. I got this for half off at my local thrift store. It included, I matched all the books up with the cartridges, and then there was a package, as you can see in this photo here, of 3 books with a cartridge as well that was brand new. So I got this, all of these, I think, for maybe $5 or $6 after the sale price. And it sat for a little while. I got this in January, but it did sell for $32.49. Here is a lot of the fingerling toys. They're mostly monkeys and unicorns, I think, in this batch. There is one sloth there in the upper right-hand corner. I find these in the bins all the time. I always check them, test the batteries, and list them in lots, and this lot sold for $21.99. I find these guys pretty regularly in the Goodwill bins and at garage sales. Their toys is like a circus zoo themed product that they had back when my daughter was younger. So I know they don't make them anymore, but they're like click clack. They make a lot of noise. You can move their tails, their head, their feet. And these, I think I picked up all of these in the Goodwill bins. Probably paid about like $6 for them. They were a little on the heavier side for $1.67 a pound and sold them for $44.99. I have had this really cute doTERRA case. It was an excellent shape. I found this in the Goodwill bins. It's got the rose gold accents on it, the black and white case. And it holds, as you can see, it holds like several of the little oils that you can get. I had this upwards of like 40 something dollars. Had watchers on it. It just kind of sat, just kept lowering the price. It finally sold at $17.49, but considering I probably paid $1 for this, that was a decent sell. I was at the Goodwill bins one day and there were a handful of various comic books kind of thrown up on top of a bin. Someone must have decided against these. This is one of them. It is a Daredevil comic book. Now, mind you, I know absolutely nothing about this kind of stuff, but when I looked up a few of these, they were worth some money. So I went ahead and listed this in February and it sold for $34.99. Considering I paid by the pound on this, and it was a little small comic book, I'd say I did all right on this one. And I think I have like 3 more listed. And then there were others that weren't worth anything that I had put on the flea market this last weekend. I am finally blowing through some of my Rainbow Friends plush. I see these a lot at my local Amazon return bin store in the bags. I've had them for a while, but they're finally starting to sell. I don't know if it's just becoming more popular. Not sure. This I paid $1 for, brand new in the bag, and it sold for $9.99. This is another of my rash guard shirts. They're finally starting to sell. I must have the prices kind of right where they need to be. This one had like a bowl image on the front. All of the ones that I got were from a half price sale at the local thrift store. I think most of them I paid in the $3, $4 range and sold this one for $34.99. I had picked this up at the Goodwill bins. I initially thought it was a Polly Pocket, but it actually was My Little Pony. Super cute, all comes in, like got all the little pieces here. I kind of showed the pieces that came with it. And it was all in great shape, clean, put in the little container there, it all fit. I maybe paid 80 cents-ish for this, probably. And it did sell for $9.99. Here is another set of Rainbow Friends plush. There were 2 in a bag, the blue and the yellow. Got these at the Amazon return bin store for $1 and they sold for $10.99. My local Goodwill charges $1.67 a pound for the items that you find in the bins, but they charge separately for any kind of chemical or products, things like shampoo, conditioner, all of those are 25 cents. So since I found this body lotion in the bins, I paid 25 cents for it. It sold rather quickly in about, a week and a half for $9.99. I have been sitting on this shirt for quite some time. In fact, it was listed back in August and finally sold $9.99. This was, I believe, this was in August. This was probably from one of the church sales that I had hit up that had clothing for $1. So I paid $1, sold it for $9.99, was sitting on it for quite some time. So I probably wouldn't buy something like this again. Super excited to sell this. This was a brand new sealed DVD series of Vegas. As you can see, the dust jacket there underneath, the discs were in sealed condition. And I got this in the Goodwill bins, so maybe paid 80 cents or so and sold it for $35.99. And last but not least is this Disney Pixar Buzz Lightyear socks plushie. This is the cat. that I think it's like a robot cat that's in the Lightyear movie. I recognized him when I saw him in the Goodwill bins. He was in great shape, and I sold him for $9.99. He probably cost me about 50 cents or so. This is the last item that I have for this week. I am really excited because on Thursday, there is the first neighborhood garage sale going on here in the Omaha area. So I am stoked to get garage sailing. When it comes to sourcing product, I love garage sales the most. So garage sale season gets me really excited. And now that the neighborhood sales are going to be starting up, that's going to be fun. Also on Saturday, we are doing another flea market here in the Omaha area, not in Lincoln. The one that we did last weekend was in Lincoln, which is about an hour away. We got a hotel room, brought the kids. They went swimming while I ran the booth and such while my mom was watching the kids. And so this one is local. It's actually in my neighborhood. So transporting everything is going to be super easy and super fast compared to last week. So definitely hoping for a nice crowd for that. And I'm hoping that the neighborhood sale will not compete with it. And so, yeah, that is what is going on. And I will see you guys next Monday for What Sold on eBay. Have a great week.